everybody, it's Hands Tuesday. I haven't done a Hands Tuesday post in a while, and I was working on some ideas for a post, and I thought, hey, I've got the perfect things for a Hands Tuesday post. So this particular video is going to be very bag charm centric, I guess, for lack of a way. Before we start on the bag charms, though, I'm going to show you a couple things that I've bought. A little Shoppie Show and Tell, as Rachel over at Bags Babes Coterie calls it. First thing is this cute bucket hat. And the picture on it is the Tiny Chef. If you're not familiar with the Tiny Chef, I'm going to put a link down below. Go watch his YouTube videos. They are, oh my gosh, they are so cute. And I wanted a bucket hat to take with me for like outdoor events. Several years ago we went to a concert that was outdoors and the sun was so bright I couldn't see. I didn't think to take a ball cap with me or anything like that. I'd have killed to have had this. And I'm going to stick a picture here, I think I still have it, of me in the sunshine using my eyeglass case as a makeshift sun reflector. It's interesting. I remember taking that picture and sending it to Chris over at Mad Hatter Bags and just laughing because it was so ridiculous. So, but I think this will be perfect. And it squished up. In fact, when I got it, it was like this. It was in a little envelope. So I know it'll be easy to stick in something as opposed to a ball cap with a big brim on it. So go Tiny Chef. Another thing, don't laugh at this one, but I bought some pet socks. I have two smaller dogs. They're both Shetland sheep dogs. And in the winter months, it can get brutal here. And if we've got a lot of snow on the ground, they get what we call foot freeze because the snow accumulates on the hair on the bottoms of their feet and then it refreezes and it just makes it impossible. So I saw these at Five Below, believe it or not, for $3. I was like, oh yeah. Got to get some of those. We'll try them out and see how it goes. What's really cool is they even have little foot pads on them, just like human-sized ones. So the big question is, will they leave them on? So, oh, I just noticed too, there's a cute little ruffle. I don't know how well you can see that. I thought that was so cute though. So I think those, yeah, I guess those are supposed to be cherries. They don't look like, well, we won't go into that. Another thing I picked up, going a little bit here for autumnal theme here, is this beautiful soap dispenser full of soap. Let me see if I can get the, there we go, we're focused. I was standing in line at TJ Maxx waiting to pay for my stuff, and I looked over, they had a whole display up by the checkouts. Oh, come on, focus, there. Of all sorts of different seasonal soap scents. And I spotted that, and it's actually glass. A little ASMR there. So I was like, heck yeah, for $7.99, it's filled to the brim with soap. I mean, you can't tell right now. So I'm going to put this in my kitchen for the season. And if I don't use it all up by the end of the season, I'm just going to put it away. And then even once it's emptied, I'm hoping it'll wash up real nice, and I can just refill it with whatever scent I want to for future autumn seasons. I just thought it was gorgeous. So, but that is by Harvest Hues, and the fragrance, I guess that's the scent, Harvest Hues. It doesn't really say. So, oh, 96 is the brand. Okay, now it makes a little bit more sense. So, but I thought it was gorgeous. And keeping with our autumnal theme here, I have this sweater I purchased from Old Navy. I'm hoping I can get far enough back on here so you can see what it looks like. But this is part of their Disney line. Old Navy does their Old Navy by Disney products periodically. And I'm not a huge Disney fan, but we've been to Disney World many times, and we were there one year around Halloween. It was a blast. And there's a ride called, let me think, what is that called? Something about the Earth, or I'll put the name here. I can't think of it off the top of my head because it's been so many years since we've done it. But the ride takes you through a boat ride that shows you the impact on the planet. I'm not even sure if they still have it there. They may have replaced it with something else by now, because Disney World and Disneyland is famous for switching out rides like that. But one of the things I absolutely loved is the whole back part of the ride. You got to see into the Disney gardening, and it shows, like, they do a lot of aquaponic gardening and hydroponic gardening there, and it's all food that's reused at all of the different resorts and parks. And they had a section where they had pumpkins growing, and they had these plastic shape guides, I guess, for lack of a way to call them, making them into Mickey shapes, just like these. And when I saw this sweater, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get that, because it made me think of that. I love the Fair Isle design anyhow. And this is my favorite knitting or yarn that they use at Old Navy. It's called So Soft. It's a primarily cotton with a little bit of polyester and some other stuff in it. But it is so soft and washes up really nice. And it's nice and warm, so I can't wait. Now I'm ready for fall. You know, I had to have it. I would link it below. It's probably still sold out. It was crazy. It went faster than Coach bags on drop day. I couldn't believe I actually was able to get one, because I kept watching. I watched for literally a week and really lucked out, because I had some rewards points and it was a super cash weekend. And it happened to come in stock, and by the time it was over with, I got this and a t-shirt, which you'll probably see me wearing at some point because I love Old Navy t-shirts, and I spent $7. So I got a $50 sweater for about $5. How can you go wrong? I couldn't say no to that. So, all right, that's it with the Shoppie Show and Tell. Let's get on to bag charms. Some of you may remember a few weeks ago I showed some stuff I purchased, and one of the things that I got was a little cat toy that was lamb chop, and I was going to turn it into a bag charm. Well, I was doing some cleaning. I found two of those little ball chains, like they attach to Coach bags for the hang tag, sitting, and I was like, what could I do with this? I didn't want to throw them out. One came off of a brand new pair of tennis shoes that my husband had bought from Skechers. If you've bought Skechers, so many of them have that little hang tag on them that's got the little ball chain. And what do you do with them? They're really short. The other one came off. I was cleaning a closet. This is hilarious. We realize now we're probably not going to be traveling the same way we used to, and I wanted to clean out all of our travel stuff. And I pulled out this suitcase that we've had about 20 years. And when I pushed on it, the whole side collapsed. It was like major plastic fatigue. I'm sure it's a combination of that, you know, the age and the fact that it has flown. Oh gosh, I couldn't even tell you how many miles that thing has flown. It's made multiple trips to Florida, multiple trips to Ireland, a trip to New Mexico, all over the United States. So it was a well-traveled bag, and I had to throw it out because I wouldn't trust it again, and I couldn't donate it in that condition. But it had a luggage tag on it, and it was held on by one of these ball chains, and I just sort of set them aside, and I was like, wait a second, I know what I can do. Okay, so without any sewing whatsoever, let's see, come on, focus. There we go. I used the big one, and I used the smaller one to turn it into a collar for lamb chop, and then slid this one underneath. It's very secure that way. It's not going to slide over her head or over her ears. And then I have this to hook to the bag. So it didn't cost me anything. Maybe a minute's worth of work to put both of the chains on. And now I have my lamb chop bag charm. And what's nice about the way I did this is I can move this however I want it. So if I want her flat up against my bag like that, I can. Poor lamb chop looks like she's being hung, but I can put her this way. I mean, it's just a great way to hang it. So you can bet next time we buy any Skechers, I'll be saving those chains for maybe future plush bag charms. So that was my no shopping part of this video. The next thing I'm going to show you is a bag charm I bought off of Etsy, and this is the second time I've bought something from this seller. She makes beautiful stuff, and I was looking for something in particular, and I came across this, and I was like, I kind of like just said, oh, never mind. this is what I'm getting. So let's see if I can get it to focus. Oh, come on, turn around. Turn around. There we go. It's got this gorgeous raven on it. And then all these charms. I think these are gorgeous. I'm hoping I can show it. I will put a link to this down below. I actually had an incident where this got delivered the wrong place. I had to go tracking it down. And I talked to the shop owner about it, and she gave me some information. She can continue to make these. Even though it may show she only has like 2 or 3 left, she does that as like her way of inventory control. So if you want one of these, you can still possibly order one. There, that's a really good shot of that. I just fell in love. When I was growing up, my sister loved Edgar Allan Poe, and as a result, I kind of got into it too, so had to have it. We used to have a bunch of crows that hung out in our front yard, and I always talked to them. I think they've probably since passed away, because that was when we first moved on. I haven't seen them for a while, so. But yeah, we've got a moon on there, and all sorts of beads. Just gorgeous. It was $20 plus shipping. The seller is called Candy's Book Thongs. I'm going to see if this will show up. And I'll put a link down below to both her Etsy store, her website, and the bag charm. I bought another charm off of her a couple years ago that's fall leaves. If you look at some of my videos, and there's a shot of a Portland leather goods bag in a real deep maroon brown. I think the color is called oxblood. And there's a charm that's cascading leaves. That's also from her. And she still has that one available too. I'll put a link to it too at the bottom. Her stuff comes very nicely packaged too. My next bag charm excursion was to Five Below. Five Below is always kind of a hit and miss because you just never know what you're going to find there. And I did really well this time. The first thing I'm going to show is just a bag charm. Check out that sparkle. I love it. This reminded me a lot of a Murakami charm. I have an actual Murakami charm, but I'm afraid to put it on my bag for fear I'll lose it. Someday I'll do a whole video about how I come to get that, because it's a cool story. We went to see an exhibit, and I decided that you only live once, and I kind of splurged. But so I thought that was so pretty. It just has purple on the back, and it's nice and soft, so you don't have to worry about it scratching your bags. So I just had to have it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to put that on yet, but I'm a sucker for anything with sparkle, if you haven't figured that out already. The next thing I got was this cool little pouch, and I bought this for 2 reasons. There's a lip mask in it, and I'm getting a lot of reflection. There we go. Lip mask, and then there's a tiny hand sanitizer that I was like, oh, that's perfect for like if you're carrying a smaller bag. It doesn't take up a lot of room in it. So that was the first reason I gravitated towards it. But then I love this charm, and I'm actually going to take this whole keychain off of here. But it's got a golden retriever. We used to have a golden retriever, so I'm a big fan. Great dogs. It's one of those rubbery ones that you can bend. I don't know how well you can see what I'm doing here. So it won't leave any marks. So cute. Next thing I got at Five Below, I had seen these on the website several times, and it always seemed to be that they were sold out whenever I went. But I happened to luck out and they actually had them. And that's this little boat and tote pouch. And it has 3 lip balms in it. It says strawberry, cherry, and coconut. I thought those all sounded really good. So, and then it's got a thing here on the side. And I'll just hook that to a carabiner and put it on my bag or whatever. But they also had this in a lavender too. And from there, let's go to TJ Maxx. Now, this first thing I bought isn't a bag charm, but I'm going to try turning it into one. That's this gorgeous bee brooch. I have been looking for some sort of bee decor for my bag for a while. I found a couple things I liked, and then I saw this and I was like, oh, that's it. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The pin goes left to right. It's a horizontal hanging pin. Sometimes you get them where they're vertical and that doesn't work as well. But I have this nifty doodad I'm going to try on, and I'll let you know how it all works out when I do eventually try it. It's actually made so you can make, I don't know how well this is going to, there we go, you can kind of see, a pin into a pendant. You just slide the pin through this open, this like tube, and then you can attach whatever it is, so this way. And I'm thinking if it works, then I can just hook this to something else and hook it onto my bag. So I'll let you know how it goes. I don't have many fabric bags, so I can't exactly just pin it, but I thought this was one of the prettiest bee items, period, that I've seen in a very long time. And that was a TJ Maxx, and it was $16.99, which is probably a little more than I would normally pay for something like that. But my word, it's just so stunning. It says it's cubic zirconia and glass stones with brass, so it should hold up pretty well too. Now I wouldn't want to be dropping it or anything because I'm afraid this center stone could easily be cracked, but gorgeous, absolutely stunning. The other thing I found, I'm in my horse era, I guess. This was just wow when I saw it. And this is also a little bit more than I would normally pay for a bag charm at, say, TJ Maxx, but I couldn't pass it up. And that's this bag charm. It's got this horse on it. Let's see if I can get it up close so you can see. And it has rhinestones and I guess it's like cloisonne. I don't know, it may just be El Cheapo painted on because it's TJ Maxx. And it has this nice pretty green tassel and then this ribbon underneath all of it that also has a horse logo on it. Very Hermes reminiscent. So I just thought this was beautiful. It was $19.99, and like I said, that's probably more than I would pay for a charm at, say, TJ Maxx, but I could not pass this up. So not sure which bag that'll look the best on. I can play around with that. Maybe one of my new Radley bags. I'm not sure. We'll see. So from there, we're going to Hobby Lobby. Now, I wanted a pink bandana for a while, and I got this one, and their bandanas are really reasonable. I think they're 99 cents if I remember correctly. And then I also wanted some round silver and gold carabiners that were different from what I already had. So I picked up two packages. I got this one that you get two of each in that has the round clasp part, but then it's got this swivel type hook that you can attach something to, which I thought was really clever. And I thought I might try and see if one of those will work with this, like sort of fold it and then pull it through. I'm not sure if this is big enough, but we'll see. I do have some larger circles that might work for that too, just by themselves, and you can knot it in a certain way so it can be hung. But then I also found these elongated ones, and I've seen these being used, oh come on, focus, a lot lately on different things for bag charms. So I'm anxious to try those out on a couple things. I think they had these in gold too. I'm not positive. But I was looking mostly for silver because I have lots of gold attachments. And then while I was there, and this is kind of what inspired me to buy these, is I found this cool bag charm scarf. This is like a silk type fabric. It's really nice and soft. I'm a sucker for anything paisley, first off, if you haven't figured that out. It's just like I'm a sucker for anything with leaves. But it's got the swivel clasp on it, so you can turn it around. And it's one of those ones that, you know, no matter which way it's going, it's going to be in the right direction. So that makes me happy. My last bag charm, I had to have this. I debated on this and debated on this. And finally I was just like, you know what? Get it. You know you'll put it on your bag. I'm not real big on plushies on bags. Have nothing against them. It just doesn't work well for me because they bounce around a lot. I walk with a little bit of a limp because of my back issues. But when I saw this, I was like, oh my word, I have to have it. What's better than a Labubu? A Cheffy charm. Yes, it's Tiny Chef again. I ordered this at the same time we ordered the hat. I hope it'll just focus. Now the nice part about the stuff if you buy from Tiny Chef, this helps support their mission. Tiny Chef started out as an independent stop motion animation video format. They got a deal with Nickelodeon to produce actual TV shows, and there's 2 or 3 seasons, I can't remember exactly. Well then, recently, Nickelodeon became part of an acquisition with, was it Skydance, I think? And they canceled Tiny Chef, and there's the cute but sad video, I mean it just pulls at your heartstrings, where Cheffy gets the news that his show has been canceled, and it's just so hard to watch. And the people who are behind the production of Tiny Chef were then left in a horrible position, like, what do we do now? We've got people to pay, and we want to keep going with Tiny Chef. We don't want this to be the end of Tiny Chef. So they put this plea out on social media. They were interviewed by somebody from PBS. It was so cute. They did a whole interview with Cheffy about his cancellation. It's just brilliant. And all of these people came forward and started donating money. Their subscriptions on social media, on YouTube, on Instagram, I don't know if they have a TikTok page or not, went through the roof. You can have memberships now, and they started selling merch. And they had been selling merch before, but they've expanded it, and all of the purchases of the merch, even though it seems like it might be a little bit pricey for what it is, all goes to help keep them in business and making more Tiny Chef stuff. So Tiny Chef says, thank you to anybody who has supported his show. It's just the most wholesome, sweetest, fun video content out there. I am a true Cheffy fan from my head to my toes. I love it. It's so fun, and I highly recommend, if you have a chance, go check it out. Even the paper that they use to wrap some of the Tiny Chef stuff is cute. It has, I don't know how well this is going to show up on here. Let's see if I can zoom in and get it to, there we go. It has little pictures of Cheffy and vegetables and stuff. I just, the attention to detail is amazing. There's all my goodies. I had a good time, didn't I? Don't think I'm going to need to be buying any bag charms anytime soon. I think I'm set for a while, but so glad you stopped by to watch. I hope you enjoyed this content. I had fun making it and showing all my little charms that I've picked up. I need to use my charms a little bit more, and I've been thinking about just putting certain ones on certain bags and just leave them on there so that I don't have to stop and think. Does anybody else do that? So if you enjoyed this content, would love for you to give me a thumbs up, and would like it even more if you would subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Happy Hands Tuesday!